Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Dustin, and this is my first YouTube movie review, so take it easy on me if you can. Today I'm going to be reviewing Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. Now, this is Pixar's 16th movie and the second Pixar movie we've had this year. It's never happened before, and probably won't happen again for a long time, so let's just soak in this moment and be grateful. The Good Dinosaur has been on my radar for a long time, nearly 6 years, and with all its production problems, I thought this movie was a lost cause. To my surprise, it's not. This may become one of the most underrated Pixar movies of all time, but it really shouldn't, and I'll tell you why. The Good Dinosaur has had a little bit of bad rap for its simplistic storytelling, but it's also been praised for this by many, including me. Without spoiling anything, The Good Dinosaur is a road trip movie. It's the journey home, finding yourself, getting in touch with nature, coming-of-age story we've all seen dozens of times. But like this movie gets at, it's not the destination that matters as much as it is how you get there. It's a very basic story, and because of that, it's not very fast-paced. A lot of the movie is actually silent. Not for too long though. The movie was quick enough to keep kids interested, but slow enough to get their points across. These points having mostly to do with the environment. One of the biggest themes of the film is that though nature can be brutal and unforgiving, it's also breathtaking and tranquil. The environment is really one of the main characters if you think about it. Speaking of environment, Pixar has mastered CG nature. The forests, rivers, grassy plains, mountains, everything looks absolutely photorealistic in this film, except for the characters themselves. The first shot of this movie, if I can remember right, is a river, and I don't think I've seen a more realistic looking river in my life, but it wasn't real, and I've seen real rivers many times before. So yeah, Pixar, you've done it, good job. You have made computer-generated nature more real than nature itself. The character designs stick out like a sore thumb against the environment, but is it a bad thing? I think this was done as an aesthetic choice to emphasize that they need nature, but either way, it's not a big deal. The thing that mostly surprised me about this movie was the genre. This is a survival western. Weird, right? I'm not sure if that's a spoiler because it's kinda shown in the trailers, but nonetheless, I did not expect this. We've seen animated westerns before, my favorite being Rango, but not like this at all. First off, it's with dinosaurs. Second, it's not stereotypical western like Rango played up on. It's more like a Little House on the Prairie type of western. They all have a little bit of twang, but not that crazy hillbilly twang we always hear in animation. It's more like the gritty cowboy accent. In fact, one of the best cowboy actors of all time, Sam Elliott, plays the side character Butch the T-Rex. I won't spoil his role in the movie, but I will say I wish he had more screen time. Sam Elliott recorded all of his lines for the character in one recording session. Despite how small the part was, Butch is my favorite character in the movie. My favorite scene involves the characters sitting around a campfire listening to Butch tell the story of how he got his scar. This is also where the moral of the story is given by Butch in my favorite quote: "If you ain't scared of an alligator biting you in the face, you ain't alive." Throughout the film, the main character Arlo is constantly afraid by nature, uncertainty, and most of all death. But Butch makes it clear to him that fear is natural. Fear is an emotion like joy, sadness, anger, etc. inside out, and everyone feels these emotions every day. Even the toughest of the tough are full of fear, but they learn to take action in it. Not to necessarily get rid of it, but to overcome it with willpower and courage. I feel like this is a great message for children, though I'm not sure they'll get that out of this movie. The campfire scene was one of the more straightforward moments. Most of the movie, as I said before, is pretty quiet, which kind of makes it better because it never forces the moral down the children's throats. This makes for good replay value too, which Pixar's always been great at. There are plenty of movies I grew up with that I didn't fully understand until I was older. I think The Good Dinosaur could prove to be one of those timeless stories that kids can grow up with. I mentioned earlier that Butch gave this movie a little bit of grit, but actually the film is pretty dark to begin with. Along with the themes of death and survival, there are a few moments I could see being really terrifying for children under 6 years old. 2 incidents in particular were especially dark, including one really gross decapitation. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't expect that at all, so I was surprised that Pixar wasn't afraid to show it. It helped give the sense of danger with a little bit of humor, if you find the death of helpless animals humorous. Also, when characters get hurt in this movie, You feel the pain. Not only did they show cuts and bruises on the character models, but the sound design team did a great job of making you feel their pain when they were hit. With good sound design and hyper-realistic environments, it really felt like you were there with the characters, maybe more than the Walking with Dinosaurs movie that came out a couple of years ago. Ugh, that was horrible. In conclusion, The Good Dinosaur isn't one of the best Pixar movies. In fact, it's not even close to my top 5, but it's pretty darn good. I think the strongest thing about the movie was Butch's influence on the main character Arlo, not to mention the darker themes of nature, survival, death, and growing older. Though it's not the best film, it's not the worst. The Good Dinosaur is a fresh take on the coming-of-age story, but in an old style. I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I'll definitely be buying it on Blu-ray. I give Pixar's The Good Dinosaur a 7 out of 10.
You can't get rid of fear. It's like Mother Nature. You can't beat her or outrun her, but you can get through it. You can find out what you're made of.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Since I just started making YouTube reviews, I'm not sure how often I'll post these, but you can subscribe to my channel and I'll keep you posted. Hope to see you soon, and thanks for watching again. Bye everybody.